In this lesson, I will discuss the 4 important areas that can help you sound more confident like a leader. The tone for ESL students can present more problems than written communication. The tone of a speaker's voice can also lead listeners to misunderstand their intentions. For example, Middle Easterners tend to speak more loudly than Westerners. Some students focus so hard on their English pronunciation they've learned when practicing out loud, they unconsciously hold their breath, and this results in a quivering voice and a loss of vocal control, speech, and tone. And I've noticed other students, some of them get very tense, and so they tighten their muscles in their throat and they hold this tension. And one of the first places tension shows up is in our breathing patterns. So shallow breathing pattern often restricts the range and the fullness of your voice. For this first area we're discussing, let's practice a simple and important technique. It's called diaphragmatic breathing. It greatly improves your vocal quality and it helps you project your voice when speaking. Diaphragmatic breathing is also known as abdominal, deep, or belly breathing. Now, this technique, when used correctly, can also help individuals produce controlled and more intelligible speech. So, when you're practicing this technique, you want to make sure you use very good posture and you stand up straight. Or if you're sitting in a chair, you want to make sure that your feet are on the floor and you're on the ground and you're in a very comfortable chair. You really want to be comfortable. So, you lay one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Now, with your mouth closed, you take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through pursed lips, just like this. You do this with your eyes closed. So, as you breathe in, the stomach should move outward, filling up like a balloon. And as you breathe out, it should flatten as if releasing all the air from the balloon. You'll want to practice this daily. Keep track of the length of your inhales and exhales. Your goal is to make your exhales longer than your inhales. At first, you'll want to practice this exercise about 3 minutes, and you gradually move to 10 minutes at least twice a day. The more you practice, the better you get. Now, the second area is pronunciation. Your overall goal is to make sure your audience understands you and not question what you just said. Rephrase a sentence if necessary. When you express yourself, you must place the emphasis on the proper syllable or syllables of the word. And you want to make sure you're not mumbling and that each word is pronounced clearly. You'll want to record yourself and listen to how you pronounce words and sentences and look for feedback. The third area is inflection. Now, inflection is when we change the tone or the pitch when we're speaking in order to convey a more precise meaning for our words. You don't want to be monotone. You want to make your presentation as engaging and entertaining as possible. This really holds the listener in, but it takes practice. The first area is listening to the flow of your speech and pacing yourself. Listen to the presentation and pay strict attention to the speed of your delivery. Is every sentence spoken at the same pace? Is it very slow, or do you quicken the pace every now and then based on the emotion you're trying to convey and the content of your presentation? You want to slow down when you have critical points, and you want the audience to understand you and feel comfortable. Keep in mind, a well-defined pause when you're speaking helps the audience concentrate on what you've just said. The best way to improve your speaking is to practice. When you have to make a presentation, write it out, read it out loud, record it, and listen to it. When you listen to the recording, try not to be overly critical. Choose one or two areas you'd like to improve on initially, then focus on these two areas before moving on. For additional help in this area, be sure to visit the website below at the link below. Thanks so much for tuning in.